Really quickly, before I start the video, I will find some way to either put timestamps or chapters or some kind of way for all of the wholesome people who asked for the link to my video once I finish to find the exact point I talk about their characters. Because I am not going to make them spend their precious time on this really long video where I'm just kind of yapping the whole time. So maybe you can look for a comment or the chapters like I said, whatever way I figure out to do it. I will figure it out before this goes up. I chose to be on Team Crystals for my first art fight, and my best friend Candy decided to be on Team Fossils. It was not purposeful that we ended up on opposite teams. We just picked what we wanted and ended up being that way. Friendly rivalry ensues. Anyway, I started by making sort of spreadsheets for the characters that I already have, which, spoilers, I don't have that many characters. I like stories and plots, and I have so many ideas for the characters that I have in personality, but I really struggle to make character designs. I know character design is a trial and error thing. I don't know why I struggle so much with it, but I'm working on it, and I'm excited to get better. The first two characters I put up were my Loto Cake Pop and my Loto Plush, which are my personas. They're both called Loto. I'm called Loto. If you want to differentiate them, you can call the Cake Pop because he is a cake pop, and you can call the Plush the Plush because they are a plush. And together we are Loto. Neither of these designs were new, because I've had them for a long time already, and I actually made my Loto plush in real life. I sort of make the cake pop every once in a while as well, just not with the right colors. I have a video of me doing that on my other channel. That was fun. But you shouldn't go watch my other channel, it's very cringe, and I'm still cringier anyway. What really got me excited were the two other characters that were actually just OCs, meaning not my persona, but characters. First up is Little Purple Guy. Such a descriptive name, I know. But I love him. I originally made him just when I wanted to animate something, and I didn't know what to animate, so I just put shapes down and made them move, and that's how we ended up with this lovely animation. I'm still happy with it now, and I think I really like the little silly guy I made. He's just a little Angie. The next character I have is Stally. I made her based on the team I chose, Team Crystals, because I thought that would be a really cool idea, and Candy also kind of did that. Because I had a really hard time with design, I know it doesn't really look like it from the time lapses because I kind of just go for it, but I do struggle with this. I tried to mostly focus on the colors since I really like colors, and I feel like that's one of my stronger suits. I'm okay with colors and composition. My idea for her, because the team was based on crystals, was to avoid colors like black and white and make it very vibrant while still having darker colors as contrast. As you can see, there are some differences from the way that I drew her from time to time, but I did end up with a consistent design in the description. Stally has 4 arms. The 2 connecting to her shoulders are more human-like, while the 2 hanging at her side are generally thicker and more monster-like, with claw-like features. Although, all of the hands have 4 fingers instead of 5. There's a gradient of a different color over each of the limbs. Top left arm is green, top right arm is yellow, bottom left arm is orange, bottom right arm is pink, right leg is red, and left leg is cyan. She has no toes, and her feet are rather rectangle-shaped. Her hair is a solid mush, meaning it is not strands of hair. However, it can be molded and shaped into other hairstyles, kind of like you can shape Play-Doh or clay. She has 4 yellow shiny star-like hair accessories on the right side of her head, and 3 cyan ones on her right. Stally's size will either be entirely massive, meaning larger than a house, or entirely tiny, shorter than a pencil. This is pretty fluid, so basically any extreme sizing is all good just so long as she is not normal human sized. Her eyes are 2 ovals with 3 colors overlapping, green, yellow, and dark pink. They can emote and change the shape to show emotion. For example, they can change into other shapes like stars or triangles, or just other shapes in general. Okay, all done with my characters. Now it's on to attacks. I will first start with the normal attacks, which is one and done, and then I will do attack chains, which are I will attack, someone else will attack back, and maybe I attack them again. Then the last thing I will cover is my longest revenge chain with someone who I totally haven't mentioned yet. Sarcasm. And the order that the attacks show up in is not chronological, nor will it include all of the attacks, because not everyone was comfortable with me putting their art in a video, which is totally fine, because that's the reason I ask. But I will give a general sense of when, during the month of July, I did the drawing. Okay, let's get into it. Also a hint, the rest of the video is not scripted. This is it. I'm just gonna be talking. It's good luck, everybody. This attack was to rocklithium on Team Fossils. I hope you enjoyed your attack. Wilbert's was actually the second ever attack I did, and it was on my first attack on someone I had never known before since my first attack was on Candy, but that's later. I was very excited when I found this, like going through the searches to find bookmarks and things. I bookmarked him right away because it was like, oh, Wilbert is a gardener. And I really like plants and like flowers and stuff, and only thing about that is I'm not very good at drawing it. And I was made very clear when I was doing this. Probably my favorite part was the composition and maybe the actual character rather than the scene that I put so much time into. At the beginning of the art fight, I was like, okay, what do I want to learn from this entire month of experience? What do I want to do? And I was like, I want to learn how to do better scenes, which is like big backgrounds, since I don't usually do backgrounds, and lighting and shading, since I really did not know how to light and shade at all, because I just never learned it, and it was very difficult. The lighting and shading on this changes quite a bit because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I ended up doing like a linear burn for my lighting and shading with like a greenish color, I think, or there was like a yellow, something like that. But I had a lot of fun doing this character, and they're gone now. That when I was doing the art fight, I did just a few attacks, and then I kind of didn't do anything for a few days, and I kind of felt bad, and then I realized, wait a second, I could just do my art physically, because I do that a lot more than I do digitally. I do a lot of physical art. Couch, by the way. This next attack was to Mae-Day on Team Fossils of their character Feathers. This is the first one that I did. My process, I usually start with the head. I thought this guy looked cool, and the colors are not completely accurate, unfortunately, because I had to do some layering for the like head part, because I did not have this like bluish, like really darkish color. I only had like this color, which I already used for this, and that's not like what the face was like at all. Those are not the same color. See, that's the darkest or like blue that I had, but like I looking at black, I'm like, it's not black. It's like a bluish, like a, you know, it's interesting. On my earlier ones, I wish I did it on all of them so I didn't have to check. I put the name, this is Feathers, and then I also had the character made by, this is Mae-Day. I did not put that on all of them. I probably should, just so it's written down in here and I don't have to check every time. But yeah, that's very fun. It's just, they're supposed to be a Minecraft, but this doesn't look very much like Minecraft. I struggle with this. Anyway, I had lots of fun. The colors are not accurate, but doing this one as my first physical art, you know, it made me feel like, oh wow, I did that, and I can do that again. So that was good. This next attack is to crystalineBarbasol on Team Crystals with their character Wormwood. Next one, I did this one physically as well. Two of them. The description said that it didn't have a specific length for these like spines, and so, you know, go wild with that. So I did 2 different versions of it, and it had like the kind of a little bit shorter than the reference picture, or like kind of similar. Like, oh yeah, the sketch, it was too small, so I didn't keep it, but I don't know if that even picked up on the camera, the sketch of that. I did color this in with completely with my gel pen. You can kind of see it like underneath on some of them, and then I just did not like how it looked at all. And I was really starting to be unhappy with it, like, oh, but I tried. So I went over it with thicker lines for the line art. You can see that I originally used gel pen, which is, you know, like this. This isn't gel pen, this is G2. And then I went over it instead with like those Sharpie markers for the orange as well, because I had an orange one and black, and I was like, oh, I'm actually more happy with that. And then I did shadows, of course, with my alcohol markers, and then it just had this texture. It has texture. It's because there's lots of layers. Anyway, yeah, you can see the original line thickness from the eyes and the mouth. That's what the line thickness originally was. And then I went over it again. Grumpy, happy. Yeah, this one was fun after doing more complicated ones previously. The one I won't show, but there was one that I was super proud of, and I worked very hard on it, put polish on it, and so I just did this little thing afterwards. And it was nice and relaxing, very chill. No background, as you can tell, because that usually takes a while. But yeah, no, this was fun. I was happy with this. This next attack was to Tendies-from-Wendies on Team Crystal of their character, Cosmo. Cosmo was one of those earlier bookmarks, and it was one where I saw the character in the description, and I immediately had a thought of, I know what I want to do with this character, like what kind of drawing I wanted to do. Because in the description, it said that he sees like little ghosts or spirits or something, one of those, and I was like, oh my goodness, he could see the Smish, because they're little guys that I make, like little doodles, the little ghosties, and I thought that would be like make a really cute drawing to have him interacting with the Smish and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. This was also a drawing that I did digitally after a while, because I'd been doing a lot of physical artworks, and I was like, let's try it again with something that I'm really gonna enjoy. He's supposed to be in like a cave, like a cavern with like a little lantern in the background, and the Smish have like this glow, the teal glow. I was experimenting with lighting and shading here. Overall, it was nice to try to get back into more digital works with this drawing. This next attack was to Kantannn on Team Crystals of their character, Shino. Okay. For this one, I was actually really happy with how this turned out even before I did the background. I did follow the reference, but I think it was around this point that I was starting to realize that, oh, my art's kind of improving since I'm doing this, you know, the art fight thing. I made my signature, by the way. I made up my signature, like, because I needed to for some reason. The description said that he lives in a world that doesn't make sense, and I didn't really know how to do that. But I thought the concept was cool, so I was like, okay, let's just make it abstract. An abstract scene where you can kind of tell what's going on, but it's just cool and like sketchy. And I put lots of like different greens on the mountains, which is harder to see in the actual submission. I used my pens, I used different shades of the marker, I used my alcohol markers, and I went over to try and make it have different textures and shadings and lightings. And then this like sun up here is like this like swirl, but also like scribble and like square, and it's cool. I did lighting and shading on them, as you can see. The hair has like green on it, and the clothes have like more shadow, which is also fun. I really struggled with cell shading before this. I had to ask Candy for help, and she did. She helped me a lot with my cell shading because I could not grasp I could not grasp the concept of cell shading, so yeah, Candy helped me a lot with that. Very happy with this piece. 10 out of 10. Would draw again. Oh, and I was very lucky. I had color pencil for this like cream color that I used it on some of the other ones, but I did not have cream for a while because I was like, I don't have any of this, and I found my color pencils, and I was like, oh yes, and I do end up using this cream a lot because I didn't have that kind of color, and it was hard. It was hard. I'm happy, but this was good. Lots of fun. This next attack is to bucket_the_deer on Team Fossils of their character Clemmera. This one, another simpler one that I actually had a lot of fun doing. As you can tell, the lighting here is a little bit different. I don't have a consistent style. I enjoy doing the black shading sometimes. Simple background, you know, like shapes, stars. I do stars a lot, you're going to notice that. The description said they always hide their hands, except I did the opposite and not hide their hands. So I was like, they're melty. I made melty hands. When I was looking at her, I thought, oh, that's a very like she's like a robot clementine, which, you know, her name's Clemmera. Clementine. I like clementines. I can't eat them, but I really like the flavor. That sounds bad when I'm talking about a character. It's a clementine because the carving originally I thought it was something like a pumpkin. You know how like there's carved pumpkins, but it was actually a clementine, which is like, oh, that's super cool. I don't think I did any like texturing. No, I didn't. But I did have fun. To me, this was more of like a more simple one that I could just, you know, not worry about too much. But I think the funnest part was the hat, maybe, because she has two hats. She has two hats. That's cool. Not everyone has two hats. Who do you know that has two hats? I don't know, probably. I'm sure. It's cool. It's cool. This is mostly with alcohol markers. I think it's actually completely, besides shading, that has pen and outline. My green last, hopefully, but it's just texturing. It's cool. Yeah. This next attack was to heart peppers on Team Fossils with their character Ur. Ur was the first character I ever bookmarked from anybody else because I don't remember what tag I typed in, but I typed in a tag because Candy was showing me like, oh, type in these things, you can try and get something, and Ur popped up, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're so cute, you know, and I did them midway through the month, I think, and it was actually an animation that I was going to try and do because I want to learn to practice more animation, so that's cool. I'm going to do an animation. It's going to be fun. And I usually do my animations in Procreate because I find it easiest to do in Procreate. But for this one, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try and do it in ToonSquid. So I can do that. And there's no built-in time-lapse feature, at least not one that I know of. So I just screen recorded for 45 minutes or so, and then sped it up a lot in the video. But none of that recording actually made it into the final product, because even though I worked on it a lot more after I stopped the recording and I tried to make the animation that I wanted to, I was not happy with it. It was not ending up how I wanted whatsoever. At some points it didn't look like the character, and if I felt like things were just too complicated for what I was trying to do at the time, even though it feels like what I was trying to do would have been simple. I ended up completely restarting and making a much simpler animation that I knew how to do, or at least I understood how to do it. I just did a little back and forth, like, oh, he's looking that way, and he's looking that way, and he's, like, excited or something, whereas my original idea was to, like, make everything, like, turn and, like, go back and forth, like a cylinder or something. I couldn't do that. But I did end up with this, and I was much happier that I did something that was okay rather than something that didn't look right or just wasn't what I was trying to go for at all. I do feel bad though that I wasn't able to do a really complicated animation, even though that's what I wanted to do. So I'm sorry. I'll get better. I'll get better. Oh my goodness, guys! I didn't see this. I didn't see it. They revenged me. They revenged me. They must have liked it. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. Oh. Oh, that's so awesome. This next attack was to Levy_the_ghost on Team Fossils and of their character Opal and her cat. To be honest, I actually don't know when I found the bookmark or drew this character of Opal. I just know that I did it in one sitting because that's what I decided to do. When I first saw Opal and I saw her and I was like, wow, that's a very cute character design. I'm like, I really like the color palette of like the dark blues, like the light lavender purple, and you know, like it was a very nice character design. And then I was like, okay, let's look at the description. And I looked in it, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's more people who can see the ghosties. You know what I'm gonna do. But I had so many ideas, actually. I had multiple ideas of what I wanted to do for the drawing of this character. I was like, I could do her in like an alleyway with like the cat on her shoulder and like a really cool perspective where like there's like ghosts everywhere. I was also thinking of doing her and the specter in like a graveyard area, which unfortunately I wasn't able to do a double with the specter, but I did get to do this one, which what I decided to do was give the girl some rest. I made her a very nice bedroom. I gave her pajamas and a bed, and she has her cat, and I put my little smish everywhere to like protect her from the bad ghosts, because I was like, she has had a hard life, man. She's had a hard life. She can't even sleep at night. She's dealing with so much. I'm giving her a good night's sleep. Because I know what it's like to not be able to sleep at night. Because I mean, I'm not dealing with ghosts like she is, but she gets a good night's sleep, and I had so much fun with this drawing. The other thing was that I actually wanted to do a second attack. I wanted to include the specter with Opal in one of the attacks. I had a few ideas of how I wanted to do that, but the month was wrapping up and I didn't have much time left. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have enough time to do it. So I focused more attention on the people who I hadn't attacked before. So maybe next year, if those two are still there, maybe I would like to do that. This next one is to JulesPinkchair on Team Fossils and their character Starla Wanderley. Starla Wanderley! He was there when I was looking for more simple shaped characters. I found a few of them. I didn't do all of my simple shaped characters, but I did end up doing him, so that was very fun. Especially since it's a stars, I like stars, and I saw him and I was like, oh, that looks cool, that looks fun. It's not entirely color accurate because, again, physical art, but just in the permissions, I'm pretty sure it was draw him in a skirt, I think. I drew him in like a sheer dress, because I still wanted to draw what his actual body looked like, because sometimes I feel bad when I put things in clothes, because I'm like, oh, but then you don't see all the rest of the character, or you don't see the original outfit. So I was like, okay, I'll do both. I put sheer, and when you do marker, it's why I like the physical art, because when you do marker, it tints it already. So this yellow is how it originally was, but when I put the pink marker over everything, it tints it, and so you can it looks like how it's supposed to. I don't know, that my brain comprehends that easier than some other things. I think there was supposed to be a what's it called? Gradients for the arms and legs that I struggled to do. As you can see, I think their legs were supposed to be the same, but I didn't because I was trying to figure out what colors to do, and you know, once you've committed to a color, you can't go back. But a simple background again, with roses. I need to learn how to actually draw roses. This is kind of just like my chibi, not chibi, but like simple design for flowers. I want to draw flowers cool. Oh yeah, I've been doing sparkle with my wonderful white pen. It's a really, really good pen because it goes over everything and it's perfect for shines. Yeah, I had fun drawing Starla. Nice. I like going between doing more complicated, more simple designs. So that was really great. This next attack is to RanqOwO on Team Crystals of two of their characters, one being Sunblock/Solar, and the other being Moonblock/Lunar. Even after making some more like complex designs, or you know, things that are technically more complicated or technically took me longer, or you know, things like that, this is still one of my favorite pieces that I've done. I don't know why, but something about this just makes me so happy. These two blocks were one of the earlier people I bookmarked, because I bookmarked a lot of people earlier. You know, I think was the first person I bookmarked. Then these two, which of course we'll get to those characters, and Cosmo, yeah, were some of my earliest bookmarks that I was going through and picking people up. This is mostly a combination of marker and pen. I really liked how I did the shading, because I like stylized shading a lot, and I did the shading in like pen in like this squiggly sort of pattern, which is very fun, very fun. I like stylizing all this. I like doing the backgrounds. I use my other kinds of markers for this, not my alcohol markers. I just don't know if they're alcohol or not, but they're cool, and I did not color in the clouds. I should have shaded this cloud here like in gray where the line would have been. Why didn't I do that? That would have been cool. Anyway, it's fine. This one's supposed to have a sunflower. That's cool. And this one's like a, I don't remember the name of the flower, but the flower for this one and that is in the picture, and the flower for this one is in the picture. I also made a bench. I don't know, it's very cozy. I'm still very happy with this entire piece. It just makes me really happy. And I'm really happy that I got to draw them. So yay! Oh my goodness, guys, they revenged me. They revenged me. Oh my goodness, look at it. Look, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's Stally. I'm sorry, I have a favoritism for those with Stally and little purple guy in it. The art style is so cute. The art style, the roundness of like her arms and everything, and like the way she's painting with. I can totally imagine her with like a rainbow, like magic paintbrush. It's just super cool. That sounds so awesome. Thank you so much for the revenge. Oh my goodness. This next attack was to heart Mewynia on Team Fossils of their character Pencil. Here comes a fun one, because I did this drawing aside from the line art. I did it completely in color pencil, because pencil here is, as you can see, very, very pencil-y. Lots of colored pencils in its design, and pencils in its like arms, and its head it's like lined paper, and its neck is like a pencil sharpener, and it's got Crayola on it. I like Crayola. Crayola is fun. But I was really like worried I was gonna mess it up, because I wanted to do this pose, you know, like when you're like on the floor with all the stuff, and you're gonna like draw. That's kind of what I was going for. I was like, oh, that didn't turn out too bad. And this perspective is not wrong, that hall is supposed to be farther down than this one is. That was purposeful. Whether it looks good or not, it's intentional. I like how colored pencil looks, and I like especially that the like purposefully sketchy look of the outer rug than the inner rug. It's fun. I didn't color in the papers, so they are I don't remember if in the picture that they're whiter or not, because what was on the other side did end up leaking through, unfortunately. But that kind of just adds to it, you know. It's like the watercolor. Yeah, watercolor. That's fun. I was very happy that I was able to do this. I did put polish on it because it's so pretty. Saw this design. I don't remember what I was looking for in the search because you have to go by tags. I think it was like color, because I wanted to do more stuff with colors because I like colors, and I think this popped up. I think it was newer at the time, and I was very excited. I was like, what? Because I wasn't expecting to get more complicated bookmarks because it was already later in to the art fight, but I was like, I saw it and I was like, that's so cute, I want to do it, you know. Yeah, that was great. This next character was to TulipHonk on Team Crystals, and of their character, Oliver. Meet Oliver! He's looking for his true love. Not an earlier bookmark, but like just after the early ones, that's where Oliver would go, where he's kind of sitting there at the bottom of the list throughout the month with his lovely smile, being there. I actually got scared when I was doing this one, because this one is when, you know, I didn't have access to all my pens and stuff, and my this blue, like I was doing for the water, was like running out, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I ended up filling in a lot of it with this darker blue, even though I probably would have looked better if I just did this whole front part with the darker blue so it didn't look as off. I was struggling. It's okay, but that ended up helping stretch it out a little bit more, and I was able to finish without it looking, you know, too bad. I also started, this was the first one I did when I didn't have access to everything, so I didn't bring any green. There is green here, as you can see. I did not bring any of my green alcohol markers or any of my green normal markers or any of my green gel pens, except for my neon green that I use for my thing. So I was like, I just sketched this out, and with the line art, and then I was realizing, wait, but I made grass. I don't have any green, so I had to do it with the Sharpie marker, and that worked. I don't prefer using it when I've already done my line art, because you see it covers over the line art just a little bit, but it didn't look too bad in this. And I used the black Sharpie marker as well to make like grass. This is very stylized picture, I would say. It's something. It's trying its best. I did bring, though, instead of bringing a green alcohol marker, I brought a sparkly pink gel pen, because I was like, I want some joy and whimsy in my life. I'm bringing the sparkles. I'm bringing the sparkles. You know, I had lots of fun, and that ended up making the flowers look a little pretty. But yeah, Oliver gets to be in the water, and again with the markers, you just go over it, and he's in the water. Oliver will find his true love. Whoever that may be, I believe in him. He can do it. This next attack is to hamsphrey on Team's Crystals, of their character, Ven. Like I said earlier, I mentioned Ven from my earlier bookmarks. And the reason why it took me so long to do it, even though I bookmarked them like day 1 or day 2, I really wanted to give this piece my all, because their art of their character was just it was so pretty to me. That's what made it stand out so much. And even the design itself was like really cool. I was looking at this and I was like, that's so pretty. Like, I had to do it. I had to do it justice. So for this piece, I spent I think the longest on this piece, not the longest, but definitely up there, because I wanted it to be very good. I spent, I don't remember how many hours. I don't have a time tracker on physical art, But what the concept of this is supposed to be, it's that then here is in a meteor shower and collecting the stars from the shower that he wants. So technically, it's supposed to be like this. And he's disobeying the laws of physics because cool people do that, right? But I had a lot of fun trying to make it look as colorful and cool. I did use my gold shiny like gel pen, my golden like glittery gel pen, and my pink one, and my neon colors as well. Not all of them picked up very well. I did do dots as well. I did like little white shimmer wherever he was stepping or being, because I thought that gave like a really cool effect. I don't know the lore. Why? I think the design with like the holo chest is really, it's very intriguing. It's very appealing to me. I don't know why, but it is. I'm a very lore interested person, so it's like, what's up with that? But it's still really, really cool. I tried out one of my newer, like, markers, if you could consider it that, with this. And it showed up really well on top of all this. I was very happy, and I'm really glad that I brought them, that all this white is showing up on top of color, which is very hard to do. Unfortunately, on the submission, I don't think it's possible to see the... I don't even know if you can see it on this camera. Even if I, like... Whoa. Oh, there we go, look at that. I do have a crescent moon and a star on there. Wow, we did it. It shows up. Wow, I didn't realize my phone could zoom in that much. This is definitely one of my favorites as well, because I just put so much time and effort into it. And like in the background to show that there were more rings, and then there's one more in front as well to show that like, oh, he's getting all those stars. This next attack is to X, capital X, the _blazing_heart on Team Fossils in their character, Kiren. First of all, the thing I really liked about this design is that it wasn't just, one thing. It was like, it's like the sun, like the moon and stars, and this more like the sky, and like the night sky, like the day sky, like all of that. It was just like, oh, it's all of them. It's not just one or two, it's all of them, and that's really cool. It was said that the reference to it has slight inconsistencies, so I just, again, if there's a reference that has different versions, I just kind of do a mix, or do whatever I feel like works best at the time. But no, their pictures are really cool, so I was like, oh yeah. Oh, and the pixel art one that they had as the reference. I think that's what pixel art. I'm like, that was really cool. But since the outfit had, and the character design had all of those elements, I thought, why don't I put all of the elements too? So we have the sun, and the moon and stars, and they're kind of small, but they're there. Oh, and some of them made it to this side. And we have, they're on a cloud. I am sad that I like messed up on this and I couldn't go back, because you can't do that. I couldn't go back. It's a little messy up here. We don't gotta worry about that. I'm happy with how the wings turned out, because I was able to use like my wonderful, I need to show you. It's this pen but white and goes over everything, and it's really, really good. It goes on top of the markers and all that, and it's white and it's really cool. Yeah. Oh, and all the clouds on this side are covered in gray, which I was mentioning I should have done in my other drawing, but I didn't. And this one is not colored at all. It's just paper color, but it's fine. I can say fully colored because it's supposed to be white, right? I don't remember. I don't remember if they had an eye color or not, or like it was hard for me to see, so I just left it white, because from my viewing of it, they look like they had white eyes. So I don't know if they do or not. I did the thing with the sun again. I guess I just like doing that now for some reason. I like using my pens, okay? I like using my pens for texture. Anyway, this character is really cool. I really had fun drawing it, and I wish I had kept sketches of everything, because the sketches are so much worse and so much funnier to look at than the finished product. This next attack is to Fernria on Team Crystals of their character, Sunday. In the submission, everything looks very orange, because the lighting I had above it was more orange. And it kind of adds to it, I guess. But also, it's like, oh, well, that's not the original color. No, I had a lot of fun drawing her. And what the description about it was that she really likes like history and stuff. So like we're learning, and learning is cool. She's cool for wanting to learn. Knowledge is good, folks. But they wanted to learn more. So I was like, okay, where should I put her? I should put her in a library with history books. And these are supposed to be stacks of books that are super, super tall. But I just makes it look like I drew really big books. But it's supposed to be like perspective. Like these are really close. And she's like farther. And they want to check out books, and they're gonna check out all the books. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Even if the colors aren't exactly like the reference pictures, they still match, and you can still tell, like, oh yeah, that's what they look like. Oh, but for the hair and for this, I did end up mixing colors. I don't know if you can see, but I put a layer of this orange. I think it was this orange, and then I think I put like a layer of this, and then I put 2 layers of the orange, I think, for this one, or 2 layers of the brown, I don't remember, but I did use these two to make this color, and because the super vibrant orange, it was just not matching. I'm like, that does not look like the image, you know, the reference picture. It's like a darker, like an amber. It's really cool, and I was like, yeah, I got the colors kind of matching. And then the flowy shirt. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Anyway, I'm really glad that I was able to draw Sunday before it was over, because this was very close near the end. So I was like, she's been sitting in my bookmarks for so long. I have to do them. And then I did, and I was very happy. I was very happy that I ended up able to do her. Yeah, that's really cool.
This next attack was 2 rukafais on Team Fossils and 5 of their characters: Variscite, Pyrite, Rhodon, Charoite, and Agate. So, little spoilers for later, I do end up doing a mass attack with a bunch of plush characters, and while I was looking for characters for them, I'd found these 5 characters. And I was considering adding them to the mass attack, but I was like, no, actually, I want them to have their own focus, you know, because they're all by the same person, and they'll have really awesome designs, and they're all siblings, and it's adorable. But because I did that, I ended up not doing it until last minute. I had started 2 different drawings the day before the event had ended. This was one of them. And as you could see from the time lapse, I started it, had to completely redo it because I was not happy with how it turned out. And by the end of it, I didn't end up giving it the job that I wanted to be able to, for how much of a focus I wanted these characters to have, because I literally submitted this I think maybe 30 minutes before the event was over. And I was worried if I tried to do more and submit it later that there might be a complication and I wouldn't be able to submit it at all. And then, you know, I felt like that would be more sad than if I just gave it a half completed, you know, sort of idea. I did get the idea of what I wanted down, of all the siblings hanging out and giving their oldest sibling some ice cream, because I thought that would be fun. Overall, if they're there next year, I would love to give them the idea that I had planned and make them a very nice picture, because I kind of feel bad that I wasn't able to. This next attack chain was to Is Foxes on Team Fossils of their character Abigail. The first character to start off our revenge chain section is Abigail, from It's So Foxes. And actually, the person here attacked me first with a little doodle of little purple guy, which I was really happy with. So I was like, oh, I gotta attack them back. I gotta do it. So this was my first revenge. And I was looking through their page, like, oh, I gotta figure out what character I want to do. And I was reading some of the descriptions and looking through the ones that had the stars, since they said they would like those ones. And in Abigail's, it said that she likes ramen, and I was like, wait, but I like ramen.
And I like the cold like temperatures and stuff. And so I ended up drawing her in like it's supposed to be like a snowy cabin with like a really big bowl of ramen that's really delicious on a cold day. And then I changed her clothes slightly to try and be more winter-like. Like she had like a crop top on, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give her like a sweater. So she's like in really nice, comfortable, warm clothes, and she's gonna eat some food. I'm not very good at drawing food though, as you can see in this picture. I tried. Uh, Thank you for the attack. Also, they did attack me again after this to make even bigger of a revenge chain. And they said that they tried to do an animation and it didn't work. Which I'm gonna let you know, I totally understand. As you can see, if you've seen the rest of this video, that actually happened to me. When you try to do an animation and it just doesn't work, I completely understand that. It does not feel good at all. But I really appreciate, you know, the work put into the art anyway. So, thank you.
This next attack chain was to Kiss Kiss Fallendet on Team Fossils of their characters Resplendent, Pepe, and Karu.
Now let's talk about one of my very special revenge chains. And not that all of them aren't special, because they are, but this was one of the first bigger ones that I did. As you might tell at this point, I decided to make an animation in Procreate of their character Resplendent, because I was like, oh, it's a more simpler design. Well, not super simple for animation because of all the little pieces, but you know, I wanted to do something special with it. I wanted to do more animations, you know, practice to get better, to do things. And I had never actually animated a like animal before. Also never animated like any kind of walking. I am very inexperienced when it comes to animation, which is why I did it, to learn, to grow, and the character was really cute and the perfect, you know, chance to try this. Took me a very long time, but while I was doing it, it was the only thing I wanted to do. Was like, I want to just go animate, I want to go finish it. And it was very fun. I was watching Digimon while I was animating it, so every time I look at those patterns on Resplendent, all I can see is Machine Dramon and that whole area, because that's the part that I was doing during this. Overall, I'm very happy with how it ended up, especially for my inexperiencedness. I sort of just winged it. I'm like, oh yeah, that ended up kind of cute. And what they did in return was they attacked me back twice. They attacked both my cake pop and my plush, and in like a adorable like little like kind of like animation, like back and forth. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And like, oh, they liked it enough to, you know, do something like that with me. And I think that's just so wholesome and sweet. I was commenting to them because they had a quasi profile picture, which is the character from Octonauts, and I was like, what? I feel like I would never meet anyone out there in the wild who also had seen Octonauts. So I was like, is that a quasi profile picture? They were awesome. But you know, of course, since they attacked me twice, I had to get them back, and I drew two of their characters as well, Karu and Pepe. They were the two characters that were on Kiss Kiss Fallendet's like board of like who they wanted, or like who they were most. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like, they were like, oh, these are the people I want more attacks from. So I decided to draw them both in like a cherry blossom field sort of area. And they're like being friends and have making like flower crowns together with the flowers that are in the place. And they're on like a picnic blanket. I'm sure they're having like some delicious picnic food as well. I just thought it would be very fun to make them friends, since, you know, drawing other people's characters together is really fun. And they were happy with this one as well, so it was a lovely experience overall, and I'm glad that I made all of those attacks.
This next attack chain was with Vicebid on Team Fossils of their characters Cauliflower and Lady Pharaoh.
I drew this little guy because I was just going through to try and find more people to bookmark, because I wasn't realistically going to do everyone that I bookmarked, but that I wanted to have options. So it's, if I want to draw someone more simple, I have more simple. If I want to draw someone more complicated, you know, whatever I want to do. And I was just scrolling like through it and I'm like, oh, this is really cute. I'm like, oh, this is such a cute design. I was like at first, when I looked at the design for this guy, I thought that the like pattern like of the dots and everything like that, I thought he was like really muddied, like he just played in the mud, which he looks like he would do that. But no, I'm pretty sure it's just a pattern. I did use colored pencil for this cream again. Yay, I was very happy. But then the shading is marker. The marker did not really like going over colored pencil, but it's fine. It's fine. I ended up really happy with how the shading turned out and how the proportions and everything, because this looks kind of cute. And this person, they're like a letter deliverer. I think like a mail person. That's what I gathered from the description. So my idea was to have like, oh, there's a bunch of letters everywhere, and the one that they have is a special one. They're delivering it for other people, so I don't know what's in all the letters, but he's gonna protect the letters and make sure that they're all very good. Also, I did not realize that the color was leaking through when I started making it until I was like, oh, the color is kind of leaking through. So I like used my white marker that doesn't leak through to try and like cover up the spots where it was kind of bad. Which, you know, it kind of worked. It's not too bad. It still looks fine. I ended up really happy with how it turned out, and I put polish on it. But they drew my little Loto plush, and it was like, oh, their style is so cute. I really liked I love seeing other people stylize it in different ways. Like some people lean more into the stitches, or some people lean more into the making it look more clean, and you know, it's just really cool. It's super cool. Everyone's so fun and creative, and I love all of my defenses. It's super awesome. And they did say, by the way, you can include this in the video. So thank you very, very much. I had so much fun drawing your guy, and then you drew me back. It's just like, what? You get fun both ways? That's so cool. Well, that's like the whole thing about Art Fight, is that it's cool. So, and look at his face. Just bear with me. I wanted to revenge as well, revenge for drawing my plush, because every little attack that I got was so special. So I went back through their profile to try and look for other fellows I could do. And Lady is one of Cauliflower's friends, and I was like, oh, that's so wholesome, and I can just imagine them together, because this one's like sleepy and Cauliflower's derpy, and I feel like that's an adorable combination. I don't know, I don't know all of like the lore or anything, so I don't know about like the dynamics as well, but I do think that they're lovely. So my original idea was to draw both of them, you know, double the characters, and just have Cauliflower like stacking the letters on Lady while they're sleeping. But I didn't have my color pencil, and I didn't want to do it digitally, because digital art is hard for me. But I did end up making it like Cauliflower just had letters all around his house. And that Lady's just like, this is fine, I'm used to this. I did do shading in yellow for like everything. I'm always worried about, for physical stuff, that stuff's not going to show up all the way correctly, and that's going to be like, that doesn't count as the shading. So I did do a little bit more underneath with the gray, but the gray somehow looks lighter than the yellow, so I don't know if that really worked. And then I did like gel pen shading on all the black parts, because, you know, I already put black there. Well, you can't go darker than black. I got pencil on. And I did not realize until I said it out loud, because I don't usually say the names out loud unless I have to say something to Candy about it. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm drawing this character Lady. And I was like, oh, as in ladybug. Because they're like a ladybug. How did I not realize that? How did I not? Like, that's crazy. Like, I got cauliflower without saying it out loud. How did I was pronouncing it differently in my head, I guess. I don't know.
This next attack chain was with Big Blue on Team Crystals and includes their character, Glacier. This one is actually started because I got an attack. I got this attack, and this attack is of my character Starla, which I did make for Art Fight, and the joy, the pure happiness that this attack gave me is not describable. I was so happy, and still am happy, to get this. It's just, she's so big. She's so perfect. Like, yes, she's sitting on the gas station, and they pointed out that the what's it called? The eyes were cars. There's a little car, and it's just this, the whole setting. And the vibes are immaculate. I could not have drawn this better myself. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. It was my first attack that I got of Starla, and I really like all the decisions made, like all of the decisions. Like, they made her hair like go down, which is really cool, because I did say that the hair was moldable, which I'm like, oh, she looks so cute. Like, she looks like she got all dressed up. As you can probably tell, I do like the stars and the night and all that. I do that on a lot of my drawings. But just the since I had not actually drawn her in a scene yet, that like this, with the visual representation of her being so big, I think it just made me so happy. Like, look at her, it's her! She did it, she's right there! I don't know. And I also felt, I felt really honored because the person who attacked me was also on the Crystal's team, so it was a friendly fire. Not only that, it was their first attack. So my guy was that interesting to be attacked. And I just think that's so cool. I'm like, I love this so much. I really, really do. It's just, for some reason, this one I had a very strong reaction to. I was literally like gushing over it to Candy for like 20 minutes straight, just being like, look at it, it's so cool, I like it so much, and it makes me so happy inside. It's just, everything is so perfect. I'm so happy. At the time, there was only one character, so I did end up doing Glacier. Glacier is sculpting, because they said Glacier sculpts. I was like, oh, I'll put them in like a snow area. They'll be snowy, like a snowy glacier sort of thing, you know? And I actually was really happy how this turned out. I ended up doing the sun thing again because I liked how that looked. And for some reason, I do things that I'm like, oh, I like how that looks. And then I do it again. I do realize now that the angle of this is slightly off with where this is, and where they're standing and where this is. Like, they're either holding this or like really like leaning forward. It still looks good. I'm really happy with this, and I hope that they liked this attack as well, because I had a lot of fun doing it with my marker that's running out. But don't worry, that it was purposeful. It looks like ice. It's purposeful. Yes. This was also when I didn't have all my colors, and I was really worried about this section, this like bluish green section, because I did not have that color. But luckily, I was able to layer it, because all I had was like this color, which is the same as this on here. I did layer that with another one of the like greens that I had, and that ended up like, as you can kind of see, and you can kind of see that it's like kind of layered. There's like blue underneath and stuff.
And here we have not a revenge chain necessarily, but my biggest mass attack of the month. It includes 11 different characters from 11 different people. Lime from Gourmet Lasagna on Team Fossils. A character named Tink from 4-Leaf Rose on Team Fossils. Patches from Rain Da Cartoon Cat on Team Crystals. Tikal the Plushie from Estefanoida on Team Fossils. Cinnabon from Night Vision on Team Crystals. Zephyr from Cabstract on Team Fossils. Gleebert from Lean Beans on Team Fossils. Lappy from Endergummy on Team Fossils. Button from Florini on Team Fossils. Pop-Tart from Endeavor on Team Fossils.
And lastly, Button Eye Heart Patch from Dreamer Awaken on Team Crystals. Okay, so this is where it gets really big. To have 11 characters. This is my mass attack. Welcome everybody. I decided to make a themed mass attack because I think those are really cool, about a bunch of plushes or like dolls or things like that having a party together in a very nice like pink and fun kind of Aryan room. And what I did, I just went to the search function and I typed in plush or doll or I think I typed in button at one point, and that's actually, I got a character named Button, so I was like, oh, well, and they're also dolls, so that makes perfect sense. I did include my character as well, my plush. It didn't give me more points, but I'm like, I want to be included, so I definitely learned a lot during this experience with all of these different characters in one place. It took me so long to do. It took me so long from the sketch to the line art to the coloring, and I have my references up a lot on the screen to try and see, like, wait, am I missing a detail? Am I doing something? And I did end up missing a few details, unfortunately. But for the most part, I did capture the characters for what they were. And I also tried to incorporate part of what their descriptions were of each of the characters to what they were doing in the picture. So, for example, Zephyr was supposed to be more antisocial and sleepy. So I put them in the corner, and then Tink is next to them, who is a mouse doll that, they don't talk, but they do help people go to sleep if they have insomnia or nightmares or things like that, which I thought was awesome. So like, oh, Zephyr doesn't want to talk to people, so Tink's gonna be like, I'll put you to sleep. So that's what's happening over there. Cinnabon right next to them is kind of watching everyone because her description was like, she's always watching. Always. And I'm like, that's so funny. And it's perfect. I like it a lot. She's just so cute and intimidating, and it's very special. Of course, everyone else, like Lime in the bottom right corner, her description, she was very talkative. She wants to make friends. Same with Pop-Tart, who's right next to her. I'm like, oh, perfect. The people who want to talk to each other, they're going to be going on and on and on and on. They're going to be such good friends. In the left corner, we have Patches, who I did dress up with the crown from the Alm King and the bow tie and gloves from Rain the Cartoon Cat, which are both characters from the same person who made Patches, which is Rain, of course. Actually, Candy was the one who drew Patches and Rain first, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Patches! I need them for my mass attack. And so they showed me where to find them, and so Patches was included in my work. Also, we have Button. Unfortunately, I wish I could have given her a better position in the mass attack. I kind of tried to make it so she was included in the conversation with Pop-Tart and Lime, but it doesn't really look like it, and I feel kind of bad that she's kind of standing there like, what am I doing? I feel so bad. Top left corner, we have Tikal, Lappy, Gleebert. Lappy and Gleebert, I put them together because they're actual real-life plushes. Like in their pictures, they have them there physically, and like, oh, that's so cool. I have mine physically too. So they're gonna be hanging out together. And Decal's on top of the house, observing the area, ready for her next person she's gonna talk to. And then I put myself talking to Button Eye Heart Patch. And I made it so we swapped wardrobes because I like ballet. I think it's really cool. I want to learn more about dancing and stuff. So it's like, oh, you can have my ballet dress and I'll take your hat and bow tie. And I thought that would have been fun since a lot of the characters' descriptions did allow outfit changes, which is why Zephyr has pajamas, Tink has pajamas. Cinnabon, I gave her a dress and a flower on her ear to be, give people a little bit more theme. I put a bow on Tikal in the top left corner. It was very fun, and I'm glad I was able to include everyone. I definitely want to do more mass attacks next year. I won't do a super big focus on doing more mass attacks because I really appreciate when characters have like a lot of focus on them, because even if it's a wonderful piece and everyone is getting a focus on what they're doing and what their description says and what they would be doing in that situation, I still feel like I want to give more focus like to this individual character, for them to be the main focus. They have the attention, the spotlight is on them. Mass attacks, super fun. Lots of work. I want to do it again. Thank you everyone for giving me permission beforehand, and I hope you liked it. I know you were all super nice to me in the comment section, and I was like, oh, everyone here's so nice. So, thank you so much. This mass attack was a big project for me, and I'm really happy with it. And while they totally didn't have to, a few of the people who were included in the mass attack actually did attack me back. Even if they couldn't make it a revenge chain or anything, they still attacked me back. It was so awesome.
The first one we have is from gourmet_lasagna. They were the same one who had Lime's character. They drew my Loto plush, which is so awesome, and I really love the attack, and so of course I had to get them back. I drew their infamous trio, whatever that means. It's Lime, Hemlock, and Papaya. They're great. Lime's colors are really wrong because I drew this physically, and Hemlock's design is really cool. They're one of my favorites of this trio. I had a Revenge from Rain Cartoon Cat, the one who had patches. They drew Loto plush, cave exploring, which is super cool because the descriptions said they had a lot of hobbies, and so of course I had to get them back as well. They're a cartoon, so I drew them in a TV. So they're Rain the Cartoon Cat, so they're the TV as a cartoon. And then lastly, oh my goodness, I wonder Stally. I mean, this revenge is from Endergummy, and they drew Stally. It looks really nice. You know, it's physical work, it looks like. I really like the colors, they're very strong. Thank you everybody who revenged after the mass attack. It was great. This next attack includes the familiar face of Button Eye Heartpatch from Dreamer Awaken on Team Crystals. Surprise! An animation! One I did in Toon Squid, so I don't have a time-lapse for it. This character, Button Eye Heartpatch, was included in the mass attack already, but I had planned, since I found the character, to give them their own attack. Whatever I could manage, I'm like, I want to do something really special for this character. Because I found them and I was like, oh, their design is so cute. And then I was reading the description, I'm like, oh, this is such a lovely fella. I have a plush character. I really love my plush character. And to see someone have another plush character that just is very special, it is very sweet, and it means a lot to them. I feel like this character deserves a lot of love and care, and so I animated them to the best of my ability. It's not perfect, but I am proud of this piece. I worked hard on it. I completed an entire animation. I did this all in a day. The animation itself is based on one of the reference pictures where Button Eye Heartpatch is reading one of the books and his like feet are up in the air, and I was like, what if I bring that to life? I like show movement and, you know, animate it, because that's what I always imagined that I would want, which do I want to be an animator. I'm like, I want to see them move, they become alive. So that's what I wanted to accomplish with this piece, and I feel like I did okay. The next of this entire section is going to be about a revenge chain between me and Candy, the person I've been mentioning throughout this video. Get ready for an action-packed, friendly rivalry between friends as we give each other attacks back and forth. I attacked first. I drew Cheese, Candy's character. My first ever attack was literally done as soon as I finished my profile and putting up some of my characters. I just was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna start drawing. I drew Candy's character Cheese, who's probably human. Probably. Cheese is a menace, and he should be feared. Candy seemed to like that idea too, so that's pretty cool. Also, this is one of the first drawings I did total, that after Candy had shown me more how to do cell shading, so I experimented a little with this, and was like, that looks fine. Oh, and so I give her a silly cheese drawing, and then she gives me this masterpiece.
Do you see this? Look, it has my Loto plush, the Loto cake pop, and it has a little purple guy, and he's perfect. Look at the little purple guy. Okay. Now we're just gonna look at the purple guy and look at the umbrella she gave him. That's a part of his character now, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. The little purple guy has an umbrella that is orange and has green hearts on it. That's what's happening now. And the hair that's done on the Loto plush, it's like the shot I gave of my real plush where the hair is all messed up, and that's kind of funny. And then the background is just like, oh, this is cool, it's mystical, there's lots of joy and whimsy around, there's the sun and moon, because of course she did that, because why wouldn't she? And there's first attack, and it's like a masterpiece. Like, how am I supposed to get back at that? What do I do about this? This is just too good. Andy and an apple, or short. Why, how better to get them back than with an animation? So that's what I decided to do with their character Andy, who they made out of Play-Doh. And the title was all A's to make a scream as the abbreviation, because I wanted to convey that I really liked my last attack that I got with all my wonderful little characters. I had just finished Resplendent, and I had wanted to do another animation. So I decided to do Andy, since I had an idea of what I wanted to do for the animation. You know, they're going to run up and they're going to grab an apple. Because in the description it said, oh, Andy likes apples. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. I mean, I'm just going to animate her eating an apple, you know? And runs up and then goes, home. So Candy liked this one as well. Which was nice. I'm glad that she did. I had a lot of fun making this. I also feel like I got a lot of experience. Just in general, I like I said with Resplendent, I'd never animated a creature before. So having done this twice now, it was more experience. I was happy with my progress. A friendly fire! I can't go 2 seconds without a masterpiece being thrown in my face. Guys, you see this? She drew Stally. Look at her. She has an apron and she's painting. She's painting with the broken end of a sewing needle that has like stray threads on it. And then she's painting my characters. There's Loto plush and Loto cake pop, and then this little purple guy in the little can up there, and she's using like a bottle cap to store all her paints, and then the other guys are looking, and wait, what does the description say? Little purple guy's climbing. Oh, look, this little purple guy, he's in the background, he's trying to climb up because he's so tiny. Oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. This is one of my favorites. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Everyone is included. But the thing was, this wasn't actually what was included in the revenge chain. What was included was this drawing, because Candy had forgotten to assign the previous drawing as a revenge, and so we get this masterpiece as well. It's just as special in my heart. The Pyrenees is coming for a little purple guy. Okay, fine. If she's gonna keep drawing all of my characters, literally all of the ones that I have up consistently, literally every single time, I have to keep doing animations because that's something I can do semi-okay. So I decided to grab the Pyrenees, one word by the way, and animate them chasing a little purple guy, because I also wanted to draw a little purple guy, and I think that these two would have a really fun dynamic with each other because the Pyrenees are very intimidating, at least to me. When I'd first seen the design for the Pyrenees, I said, wow, they make me really uneasy, and I'm pretty sure that's how they got their name. I didn't like them. But I don't think they would get along with the little purple guy very well, because the little purple guy is just a little angry guy, and he, in the description of this, I said he hit them with a springy hammer because the Pyrenees were uneasing him. And now he's running away. The Pyrenees aren't going to do anything. They're just chasing him because they think it's funny.
Anyway, I was really happy with how this turned out because I don't do that many animations, and to see progress like this, it was really cool. You know, based on the first animation I did with the little purple guy compared to this, it looks a lot more 3D, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I hope Candy liked it as well. Spin! Oh no, what do I do? She's taken to animation as well. She span him. She span him in a circle with his umbrella. She gave him his umbrella again and she span him in a circle. What do I do? I was relying on animation, and now she's cornered me. She's cornered me again. She's doing animation too now, and it's the most beautiful thing. It's my little purple guy again. He's so wonderful. Wait a second. I have an idea. I know what I'm going to do next. CO2 naps without their skull. Okay, fine. If they're going to match my animation, then I'm going to do physical drawing, traditional drawing. That's my strong suit anyway. That's what I like to do anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw CO2, basically their character that they did for the teams, like I did for Starla. I'll do theirs. And it's very cute, wonderful design, and I thankfully had close enough colors to put them in a lovely, lovely colored, fully done drawing, and it ended up looking nice. They were very happy with it. I drew them in like a cat bed sort of thing, because they're like a cat. Look at them. They're literally a cat. Look, it's so cute. Maybe, possibly, potentially attempt at hyper-pop-ish. Immediately after I do a physical drawing, they do one as well. Candy just can't stop one-upping me, can she? No. This art style that I've been trying to learn how to do that I physically don't understand, the whole, you put colors in places and it looks really cool and they're all vibrant, and I really want to be able to do that, and I'm really struggling to figure out how to do that. They're like, oh yeah, let me just do that real quick, but with one of your characters, and that was, what? You know, they just decided to do that, and it looks super cool, by the way, super pretty, super awesome. And again, this one wasn't actually what was in the wrench chain. It was a different one, which was also of my cake pop. They forgot again. That's okay. It's very easy to forget, and I've done that before. Anyway, this was an awesome one that I have to get back at again. You know, I have to keep going. It's what we gotta do. Enter the final stretch. Okay, so we have like 2 days left or something until art fight's over, and I decided what would be a good, we're in the home stretch, or we're almost done sort of attack to do. I decided to do CO2 again with Starla, even though drawing my character doesn't really give it points, you know, this is still what I wanted to draw, because both of these characters were based on the themes that we chose, so I decided to draw CO2 with the Cano attack points in the palm of Starla's hand. This was fun. I did this one physically as well. And surprisingly, it didn't take me that long. Like, I just did it in like, I think it only took me like an hour and a half, something like that. So that shows for my art skills improvement. And not to be like, you know, my art's so cool or whatever, but I don't know what it is, but the way that I had drawn CO2 here, I'm just incredibly happy with it. It was smaller on the page, but looking at it and just each of the lines that I did, that's the character. Like, wow, I drew it, and it looks really cool. Like, there's no specific part of the drawing where it's like, oh yeah, I wish I had done that part better, or oh, that mistake I wish I could have fixed, or like, no, I was just, wow, that's CO2. This looks, yeah, I was happy with it. But as Candy had just done with their drawing, when, you know, they did my lovely cake pop, and then they forgot to put in the wrench chain, I did that too. No, I wouldn't do that. I did do that. And specifically, for some reason, the mouth was very difficult for me to do. I was looking at it, and I'm like, I don't know how to do a mouth. I eventually figured it out, and that's what was submitted. When the mouth looks kind of goofy, so I kept that as the thumbnail image. Jump rope! It was at this point that I kind of gave up trying to one-up anything. Not that I wanted to one-up everything, you know, it was all just fun and games. We're enjoying each other's fun attacks. You know, this has been a very friendly competition, but I can't... Dude, how? You did that in like a day. And you don't normally animate. 3 of my characters, all but one of them, fully animated in a day. It looks beautiful. You win. I'm gonna keep attacking, but this is a really great piece. I think it's awesome. I think it's very in character, for them to be playing jump rope together. Seal gets a rest in the moonlight. I decided, you know what, let's just draw something fun. You know, this has been a great competition. Try not to get too competitive or overwhelmed or, you know, burnt out. So let's just draw something nice and fun and very vibey and simple. I decided to draw Seal digitally with just making a really fun kind of abstract kind of scene, background sort of thing. I really just wanted to give the vibes of, let's be nice and cozy now. Let's chill and have a nice nighttime. I did draw this before bed, so it does make sense. I did make the mistake, even though I thought I read the description, I thought I understood the character. I put them in a hammock over the water, when it very clearly in the description says, by the way, those aren't scars, those are gills. They breathe the water, the H2O. So yeah, oopsie daisy. How the turns have tabled. And for one of Candy's final attacks at me, it was a sort of reverse to the attack I had earlier, where CO2 is in the palm of Stally's hand. Now Stally is in the palm of CO2's hand, and this is perfectly lore accurate because, remember, Stally can be really big or really tiny. So this is awesome, and they have the KantannN attack this time. And Candy gave them like a little sweater, like they're in comfy clothes, which is awesome. I always love the different outfits on Stally. Yeah, I was really happy to get this piece, especially so close to the end. I think this was submitted really late at night, and we only had a few hours left, so I was working on my last attack as well. The final kaboom! Beans and cheese get together. I started my last attack the night before Night Art Fight had ended. And I had gotten my sketch sort of done, so when I woke up in the morning, I had just a few hours left until noon when the event ended. My plan for my final attack on Candy was to include as many of her characters as I could, as she had been doing to me this entire time. So I put Mochi, I put Andy, I put Seal, I put Screen, I put Beans, I put Cheese, I put the Pyrenees. Yeah, I wanted to include everybody, but I didn't have time. I also didn't have time to make everything the way exactly that I wanted it. I literally submitted this, I think, just before the event ended. So I was like rushing, like, I wanted to finish this. Again, along with the other drawing that I did that I said last minute, I submitted this one and the one with the 5 siblings just around the same time. I really wish I had either had enough time to complete them all or just not had done them at all, you know? Because, well, they're not bad drawings and I still had fun doing them. I feel like it probably would have been better to just, you know, oh, I don't have enough time, I won't be able to finish this, it's okay. But you can't, you know, include anything that you did last year into the next year. So I was like, oh, it'll go to waste. So I just tried. I submitted it. Anyway, yeah, that's how that went. Candy was still happy with it, and everything went well. I had honestly thought that Candy's last attack with CO2 and Stally was her last one for me, because in the last minutes of the event, she was drawing an attack for a different person. So when I received an attack from her, I was very confused. I'm like, what did you do? What? And then I saw it, and it took me just like, I think 2 seconds to look at it and to realize, oh, dude, I get it. I'm the gift. Yeah, so our last 2 sketchy attacks at each other ended up being an Enna reference, of course. I was very happy, and this one was submitted literally at 11:59 with 19 seconds into the minute. So, I was kinda close with this one, but I'm happy that we ended that with that little last sketchy battle. Alright, everybody, the big reveal. It's not even a big reveal because this is being uploaded way late, super late. The crystals won! We did it, guys! We did it! I wasn't expecting that. I don't know, for some reason I thought the fossils was gonna win, and then I would go to Candy and be like, you won! You did it! You beat me! And then it was like, wait, but I won? No, that wasn't my plan. Like, I don't know. It was, I'm so glad I participated in Art Fight this year. This has been so amazing. I want to do it next year. I cannot wait for the theme. After Art Fight was over, I was having withdrawals. All I wanted to do was draw. All I wanted to do was more Art Fight. I'm like, what do I do? And it actually gave me motivation and determination to do my own projects. The amount of progress I'd made in my art and the work I put into it, it actually felt like what I wanted to do was suddenly possible. I could put more effort into my own work, just like I was doing for Art Fight. I could start designing more of my characters. I could now. I actually designed a character. I designed Stally. I couldn't believe I had just done that. I did it. And now I can do it again. I can make my characters that I have in my head. And I'm so excited. Next year, I'm going to have more characters on there. And it's going to be like, wow, that's an actual design. And this was one of the best decisions I have made all summer. I'll see you next year, I guess. I'm definitely participating again. The difference between my art at the beginning and the end of Art Fight is so visible, and my confidence that I have in my own art has just been so much more than it used to be. Everyone was so nice. I was not expecting that kind of interaction to be consistent throughout the entire month. Every single person I interacted with was kind. They were just... No one was mean. No one was negative. No one was like, your art is trash, you know? No one was like that. And I was really scared that was going to happen. I was so scared that I was going to start things and people weren't going to be happy with my attacks. And they're going to be like, wow, you didn't even draw this right. What are you doing? And no one was like that. And I just feel like, I don't know. I didn't expect there to be this. I'm so happy. I'm happy to be a part of this. It's so great. I could probably go on forever, so I should stop now. Just last notes. Thank you everyone again for your permission for uploading this. Thank you everyone for watching. I put so much effort into this video. You can tell because it's uploading so much after Art Fight. I spent so many hours doing this. I wrote all the drawing, all the editing. I'm just gonna have to hope my tablet can handle it and actually export this file. Thank you everybody, and bye-bye. Yeah, that's it. Bye. My idea was for her to try again. My idea for her... Try again, read, please. My idea for her because the team... Read like you're saying words! Each arm and leg has a different gradient color over the light pink skin already has. What? I had to let them be, but this was one of them, and... my mic. And I really, as you can probably tell at this point, I do like the night sky a little bit. Sorry, I'm dying for some reason. What is this, like, sickly apple?
this like effect that happens on like the red parts of the time lapses. I don't know what it is. Because if I freeze the frame in the editing software, it literally freezes correctly. But on the actual video, it's like all corroded. I don't understand what's happening. No, Andy, don't eat the apple. It's bad. Well, time to put all the credit for the people in the mass attack. And oh no. I don't remember the name of the person who had Tink. Oh my goodness, I found it. I can find them now. Oh, this is in my photos. I was looking for so long to look through my pictures. My reference picture, it doesn't have a watermark on it. And I was like, oh no, I didn't take any pictures. They're gone. And I found it. Okay, I'm so glad. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad. Oh my goodness. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. I'm losing everything.